Question 27. The number 1621 was subtracted from 6244 in base x. If the result was 4323, find x. Now this is subtraction on our base and we're asked to find the base. I've done a video previously, one of the first videos I did on number bases and things like this, so it's easy to do if you understand it. So we have, and I'll still explain, 6244 minus 1621 equals 4323. Now in base x, looking at this question is not really hard, so we can just do the normal way we do our subtraction, and this is one of the most simple questions you can get if you really understand the topic on number bases. The concept behind it is when you're borrowing from a particular number and you're giving it to the next number, it turns to the value of the base you're working on. So let's just do our subtraction. Normally we have 4 minus 1 to give us 3. That's normal. We have 4 minus 2 will give us 2. That's normal because 4 is bigger than 2. But this next line, which is the third one from the back, will be 2 minus 6 will give us 3. 2 can't even subtract 6 because 6 is greater or bigger than 2. So we have to borrow from this 6. So let's say we borrow from this 6. It is left with 5. That's where we get our 5 minus 1 that gave us 4. When you're working in base 10, the one you borrow comes here and adds to this and becomes 12. Have you ever wondered why? Because when you're working in base 10, when you borrow 1 from this, it turns to the value of the base you're working on, which is base 10. So 10 plus 2 will give you 12. But because when we're much younger and we had to do this, if they explain to us in detail what it entails to get it, we might get confused and might not really understand what we're doing. So you just tell us, borrow 1 from it and add the 1 to this one becomes 12. Then you do 12 minus 6, it will give you 6. But in this case, when you borrow from this, it turns into the value of the base you're working on. Now that I've borrowed 1 from this 6 and is left with 5, what we've borrowed turns into the value of the base we're working on, and you're adding it to the 2. So since we're working on base x, so we have x plus 2. We'll add x plus 2 minus 6 should give us 3. Since we don't know the value of our x, you just write it out as x plus 2, you can put it in brackets to know they are together, minus 6 should give you 3. Now this turns into something of simple algebra. Then we have it as x plus 2 equals 3, then minus 6 crosses the equals to sign and turns to plus 6. We have x plus 2 equals 3 plus 6, that's 9. X equals 9 minus 2. The plus 2 crosses the equals to sign and turns to minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. So the base we are working on is base 7. Now we know our answer is base 7. Our answer is therefore A, 7. That means, going back to the original question, once you borrow 1 from 6 and you're left with 5, that 1 turns into 7. So that 7, you add it to this 2, since you're working in base 7. That 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 minus 6 will give you 3.